This is the track we're going to run today. I'm going to be running Hazel on it. She's just a week under 11 months old. This test is really just a convenient, quick evaluation, really a test or an experiment on Hazel's scenting ability and how the track holds up. This track is 5 days old. It was laid 115 hours ago. Basically, it's about 600 meters long, and it goes 100 or 150 meters with tracking shoes and normal blood. Then it goes to tracking shoes only for 100 meters, and it just goes back then to tracking shoes and blood and alternates back and forth like that a few times. Originally, this track was laid for Hunter. He ran it at about 20 hours 4 days ago, and I just left the flags in the woods, and I'm going to try it here this morning. The wind is working nicely for us. The wind is coming from the southeast going this direction, so I shouldn't have any problems with the dog skipping ahead. We'll see what happens. It's either going to be a really fun day and have some real excitement of the dog able to do it, or we're going to be out of here real quickly if she can't recognize it all, which will not be a disappointment. It'll just be a result of the experiment. So we'll see what happens, and I'm sure we'll learn something out of it. Hazel, stay. Stay. Find it. Good girl. Well, we're going to see what happens. Track goes out this way. This first part of the track is both tracking shoes and blood. Looks like she has it there, but that could also just be random. It's clearly not easy. She comes back to the original spot. There was a lot of blood there, and I kicked the shoes in real good there. .820 I started at. Let's see what happens. That's a piece of it right there. That's the line. So there's definitely something there 5 days later. I'm going to pretty much give her head. I'm not going to worry about line control. The only time I'm going to correct her on this line is if she gets on something hot and other than the line. So we know there's scent here that she's able to recognize. Now the question will be, can she concentrate on this minimal amount of scent? Which will be quite a testament to her. Can she concentrate for a good period of time? It'll take us, I suspect at this rate it'll take us at least 45 minutes, maybe an hour to do this line. It'll be very interesting to see what happens when we hit the tracking shoes only. It's nice to see her really slowing down like this and working hard. She's a little bit on the fast side, and scenting is easy. And I was wondering if she would just go wild and run around like a nut trying to find the next piece, or if she'd settle down and work hard, which is what she's doing. Time will tell how that'll go as time progresses. She and her brother both have a tendency, as time progresses on the line, to get a little wild. I think that's more about their age. I shouldn't say wild, they just get faster and faster. Wild would be an overstatement. It'll be interesting to see under these tough scenting conditions. Not scenting conditions are actually good, it's just that there's not a lot of scent. This track was originally laid, the leaves were wet, had rained the night before. I forgot to pick my flag up. Oh well, I'll get that another time. The leaves were wet, and it rained, drizzled that first night. And then I think on the third day it rained, I don't know, maybe a quarter or half an inch. Just kind of a normal, easy rain for a few hours. The first rain wasn't enough to really wash the blood away. The second rain washed the visible blood away. Plus, with the blood going down in the wet leaves, it doesn't hold up visually as well. Okay, this double flag up here, the track switches to tracking shoes only, and we'll see what happens. The line dog legs a little bit to the right. It's pretty cold this morning. It's about, maybe 35 or so. Okay, let's see what happens. Goes right through that little opening there. The line goes that way, you can see the ribbons. Clearly there's a transition here where the blood stopped, and right now I'm hoping she's able to do it. But it's not looking too good. She did have the line there, but I think that's because that's the natural lay of the ground. If she can't do these tracking shoe only areas, I think my plan's going to be to do a search. Work this with the search command and just tell her search, search, search down the line where she doesn't smell anything, using the search command to find the blood, using it as a training opportunity to teach her, hey, if you go the direction I tell you, when I say search, there's eventually going to be something. Looks like there's nothing out there for her to smell. I'm going to let her work her way back there and reach out. Our last training exercise we did was we worked voids, and I can see her working very similar. There's the line again, the original line in. Working very similar how she worked when we were training voids, where there was no scent at all, absolutely no scent. I'm absolutely loving her work here. It's wonderful. This is really good work for her. I'm very, very impressed. She is staying calm, methodically searching. So far, not getting distracted. I doubt that that's going to hold. At some point, I think she'll probably get frustrated and lose her concentration, but we'll see. That's the original line of travel. That was just 2 expanding concentric circles to the right that she searched, downwind of the line. The wind is coming this way, downwind of her point of loss. I'm going to cheat a little bit when she gets up here to the end. I'm going to walk up here to lure her up here. I'm going to push her down this line a little bit to see if it helps her pick it up. I just kind of pushed her there, psychologically pushed her there by walking that direction. Now let's see what happens. It might have been such a faint scent that she didn't believe it, I don't know. Or the transition had her second guessing herself. Let's see. But there's no doubt about it, the tracking shoes have not held as good as the blood. Let's see what happens here. She's had vast experience with tracking shoes, so she certainly knows what that smells like. She just crossed the line with what I would say no recognition. Yeah, she's not smelling this tracking shoe line at all. At least I don't think so yet. See how she picked her head up there and just came back this direction? That's what I was talking about in a previous video of if I stand in a general direction, it encourages her to search more in that area. She's downwind of the line. You can see the line where she is. I can't imagine she's actually tracking the line. We'll see what happens right here. That looks like something just caught her attention that shouldn't have. No. Come. Okay. We're going to assume she has can't smell this line at all. So I'm going to search her. Search. Hazel. Good girl. Search. Search. I don't think she smelled those tracking shoes at all. Search. 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 At this double mark up here, blood's going to come back up to us again. Search. Search. No. No. Search. That's off game. Search. 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 I don't see my next flag. It's got to be here somewhere. I remember where I went to the left side of this brown tree. Search! Search! This is off game. There's a flag. Good girl. There's a turn here. It goes up that way. Let's see what happens. That's got to be blood there, I'm sure. Now the question is, after that big void where she couldn't smell the tracking shoes, will she get back, will her concentration come back to work this faint blood, which was hard but doable for her. Good girl, good girl. Goes up this way. Good girl, Hazel. See what happens. Line's over here. Just crossed it. I remember going right through there. You can see she's a little faster now than she was in the beginning. That's what I was talking about. As time goes on with these dogs, these pups, they get a little bit more speeded up. It's 38, so we've been tracking 18 minutes. Again, will she just buckle down and work like this again, like she's working right now, after the big interruption of that void? That's what she needs to do right there. Wind's coming right to left. That's the line right there. She crossed it with no recognition. I did go right through those trees. And she seems to have it again. Lucky for me, the next void, well, tracking shoes only, which will be a void to her, is pretty short. And I'll do it for too long, so she won't be on it very long. I'm going to let her recognize that it's missing, see that she can't do it, and then I'm going to go right to the search. Right up there's the void. I'm calling it a void now because for all intents and purposes it is. tracking shoes did not, scent from the tracking shoes did not hold 5 days, which is really no big surprise. I'm going to pick up the leash to put a little drag on the leash to hopefully settle her down a little bit. She's going quite so fast and so wide and so loose, I should say. Good girl. Okay, the blood stops here again. Let's see what happens. Give her a chance to recognize it's gone. And who knows, maybe she'll pick the tracking shoes up this time. I doubt it. In these tracking shoe only tracks, I did put a spot of blood every so often, every 25 meters. Like right there, there's a spot of blood. There's a spot of blood here because I have this ribbon up. Find it. Oh, she seems to be handling this a little bit better. That is the line with no blood. Wow, that's pretty impressive. Now we got blood again up here. Double ribbons pointing down mean I started blood again. She negotiated that 100 yards. Oh, it's about 75 yards with one spot of blood in between. That was pretty good. Was that her searching? Treating it like a void, just searching out for the next piece, or did she smell the line? I'm not really 100% sure. For a while there it looked like she smelled the line, but we'll see. Might have just been coincidence that she kept going the direction that she was originally going. This line goes right up through here. She's coming around to it. She should hit it pretty soon. She should hit it real soon. Right there she should hit it. She did. And that's a spot of blood. Oh, that's blood all along here. Good girl! Yeah, this is blood all the way. Very good. This is blood all the way. Spot of blood, basically it was a drip of blood every time my left or my, I don't know if I was using my left foot or right foot, it doesn't matter, but basically every other step there's a drip of blood here from 5 days ago. You can see the blood has had no problem for her to have it last 5 days, 115 hours. I mean, it's not the same as when it's 24 hours old. The line goes there, comes over here, but the wind's coming this way, so I think she's catching pieces of it. Yeah, this is the turn here. It actually came up here and went over there, but it looks like she There's wind in that. That was an example of what I was talking about. You can see she was over there. She was already winding this part of the line. But because I walked over here so quickly, my body language brought her over this direction. I'm purposely now standing off the line so she doesn't think my body language brings her to the line, because inadvertently I walked to that corner to get that flag. So I'm standing off the line right now so she doesn't think that I mark it. But I definitely brought her over here. She had winded that turn. She had already winded that turn. The turn goes like that as we were coming up here, and she would have just cut the corner off, which is perfectly okay. But because I walked over here so quickly, and she's working so hard, and it's not easy for her, she thought, hey, he knows something. And she came over here to see. When I'm out tracking for real, using that same theory, that same idea, when I'm out tracking for real, if the dog is working a check and having a hard time with something, I never let the hunters search around for it too. I make them stand still and not even, they can look at the ground where they're standing, but no walking around, bending over, looking at stuff, because it influences the dog's search. The dog knows we're all out here to do the same thing, find the scent, and when she's having a hard time, if she sees somebody that looks like they're really interested in something, she assumes that they may have something and goes over to check it. I mean, when I say her, she's never been out there, but that's been my experience with other dogs I've had. I may have to correct her here. No! Yup, she got onto something that she shouldn't have. No! That's what I'm talking about, concentration. As time goes on and the work gets harder and harder, the dog's, at this age, the dog's mind will wander. Now hopefully she'll spin down and hit that line and take it. That's the line there. This is blood, so this is doable. Since she's identified this as a spot where there's blood, I'm going to walk up here. I don't mind walking up to a place. It doesn't hurt, I don't believe, walking up to a place where the dog has identified that the line is there. And if I go there after her, I don't think that teaches the dog any bad habits. Might teach the dog that I go to a place that she went. It might teach the dog that, you know, using me as a mark to go back to a place where she already was, but I don't think it teaches her that I know where something is that she doesn't if I'm going there after her. At least I don't think so. Again, this is tracking shoes and blood here along this part. I'm very anxious to see what happens at the next place where it's tracking shoes only, because it almost looks like that last 75 yards of tracking shoes only that she negotiated that with one spot of blood in between, maybe two spots of blood in between at most. I think it was putting the blood at every 25 meters, 25 paces, whatever. So in that 75 meters there would have been two spots of blood. The one it looked like she used, the other one I don't think she noticed. Or she just searched her way through that. I've dropped the leash again because she settled down. I only had the leash in my hand for a little while there where she started to get a little hectic, a little over animated. Okay, right now we're back to tracking shoes only. It ends right here. I think the next 100 yards or so is until we hit blood again. We'll let her work, see what happens. Just identify the place that the blood ends, that's for sure. If I'm not mistaken, I may have a spot of blood already up at this next little ribbon. I think I ribboned all the blood and didn't put any ribbons when there wasn't any blood on this part of the track and shoe. But we'll see when I get up there. I can't tell which direction that ribbon's pointing. Here's the spot where it ended right here. She's over there. That's the blood trail coming in, ends right there. Wind's helping us a little bit. It's kind of coming this way. She's doing a real nice job of searching systematically out from the point of loss, which is right here. If you notice, she went around this way, down this way, up there. She's coming back around. Very nice. She just came down through there. That's the point of loss there again. She's out wider now. Line's over there. I'm going to let her keep searching here. As long as she stays methodical and not over animated, I think it's good for her to spend time not getting carried away. If she goes to get carried away, I'll correct her. She gets over animated, and I think that might be a good learning experience for, hey, don't get so torqued up, just keep methodically searching. I'm hoping she bumps that spot right there where I think there's a spot of blood. But judging by the ribbon, no, there's not. She's going back to the point of loss. I'm purposely staying here. Kind of, I'm saying to her, hey, once you have covered that area and found it's not there, don't go back. I'm not telling her not to. I'm just saying, hey, we're up here now. We've searched up to this point. Why go back to the other spot? I know the line's right there. I'm going to turn this into a... Hazel, come! Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Search. Search. I'm going to turn this into some searching exercise. Search. 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 This will be blood up here. Spot of blood. I can tell by the ribbon. Search. I'm hoping she smells it. Search. Search. No, she missed it. Search. I can't bring her back to it though. Search. It's about 40 or 50 yards ahead. Is the blood again. Search. 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 I'm going down the line to pick up the ribbons, but since I know she can't smell anything on this line, it's not showing her where the line is. Search. 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 There's blood there. Because of my ribbon. Didn't seem to, that little spot didn't seem to grab her. Search. I do like how she's naturally quartering in front of me. It's quite nice. See her quartering back and forth in front of me. And the search, I didn't teach her that. Search. When you're doing a search like this, and all of a sudden she shows a lot of interest like that, you shut up and let the dog work it. The whole point is for her to be looking and then all of a sudden find something. I don't like that flat spot in the leaves there. Maybe a deer was laying there. That might be what she was smelling. That bed there. We'll see. If she starts going on something, then I can show her, hey, when you're searching, if you find something that's wrong and go after it, you're in trouble for it. The blood starts back up here. Hopefully she grabs it easy. I've stopped saying search because all of a sudden she got something in her nose and showed interest in it, so that's why I have to let it go. When I find out it's the wrong thing, then I'll scold her, but I don't know that now. All I know is that she smelled something there. You know, did the shoe make extra smell or something? Did some of the fur come off the tracking shoe? And it was laying there. I don't know that, so I can't scold her for this, although I'm tending to think that it's wrong, but I'm not sure yet. I think if it was wrong, she might have gotten more focused on it. We're so close to that spot of blood. Heck, she might be smelling the bloodline down here. I don't know. It comes here and turns left. I'm walking away from that blood because I'm going to do the search different. Come here, come. Good girl. I'm going to search her into that spot. I'm going to untangle here first. Hazel, I think that is off game. I'm pretty sure that's off game. She's a little over animated right now. Good girl. Search. 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 That should be blood there. That's where the blood starts. Let's see what happens. Okay. That's what we were hoping for her to find right here. Now we see if she gets back on the line. No! Definitely off game. That was a bed back there. Hazel, look here. Look. Find it. Find it. Find it. Where did he go? That's a girl. Where did he go? So what happened there? Bad luck as we approached the blood where she could have possibly started winding it. Whatever. Where the blood started back up. She showed interest on the search. There was a bed there, but I couldn't say that it was a fresh bed for sure. So I had to let her work, and it was tough to see if she was working this blood here scent or if she was working that off game. As it turns out, she was working the off game, so I ended up giving her a little more time on it than I should have before I scolded her. Tried to search her back into this area and salvage the exercise at that point. Good girl, good girl. That's what we're after. And that didn't work because this off game has her distracted at this point in time. We've got quite a bit of time and heavy concentration. It's 9:03, so she's been working for 43 minutes. And her concentration was such that I had to restart her. So that's what I did. I restarted her. I brought her in and said, hey, this is what we want to do after scolding her for doing the wrong thing. Find it. Find it. That's a girl. This is blood again here. I'm going to put the leash in my hand now to slow her down. Put a little drag on the leash so she's not quite so animated. Good girl. Good girl. That's what we want. Blood there for sure. Good girl. I think we're okay again. I'm not sure if I have another void in this line or not. I don't think I do. think it's blood the rest of the way. Actually, I'm hoping at this point that it is, but I don't really remember for sure. My markers will tell me as we go along. I dropped the leash again. She's settled back in and is giving her head. These faint scenting conditions, it's not the place to work on line control. Just be too much pressure on the dog. I need her mind to be as free as possible to work these faint scenting conditions. But if it gets too free and she gets distracted and loses concentration and gets on off game, off scents, off trails, then I pick it up and settle her down. But still not going to really work on line control unless, you know, any kind of stopping her or anything, unless I see her doing something real wrong. These leaves are tore up here. I suspect maybe some turkeys or something went through here, although there's no turkey scratching. No! Right there, no doubt about it. There was something in here, maybe squirrels or something. This is stirred up. And she knew. Look at that, she came right back. Yeah, something was picking around in these leaves a little bit, birds or something. That was actually pretty nice from a training point of view. I was able to recognize that she was doing something she wasn't supposed to. I scolded her. She clearly knew she was doing something she wasn't supposed to and came back and went right to work. That's good dog training. I can say one thing, I'm very happy with today's results. The only thing that would have made me happier is if she could smell the 5-day-old track and chew line, but that was asking a whole lot. But her ability to negotiate this 5-day-old bloodline is wonderful. And most importantly, her concentration is holding actually better than I expected. This is going to be a great dog. I think she's winded the skin. Oh, good girl! Yeah, what a good girl you are! Oh yeah! Oh yeah, huh? Yeah, huh? Yeah, she doesn't want any parts of that skin right now. Good girl, she just knows skin means food. Yeah, sometimes she goes after the skin, but most of the time she says, okay, I know the skin's here, but give me some food. Right, good girl, huh? Good girl, Hazel. Oh my goodness, huh? Oh my goodness, huh? Good girl. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Good girl, Hazel. Good girl, Hazel, huh? Good girl. Well, that was an excellent exercise. Totally successful. Learned some things about the dog. Learned some things about the scenting conditions. Till the next time, thanks for watching.